Oh, wait, don't rush it. Welcome to Comic Book Streamland, and thanks for pulling up a seat. Tonight we're chopping it up with real comic book creators, the ones out there in the trenches making books and getting them into readers' hands on their own terms. This isn't a right versus wrong kind of show. No gatekeeping, no ego. This is shop talk, like a late night bar conversation or barbershop debate. Raw, honest, and unfiltered. So if you're cool with being a fly on the wall, stick around, drop a comment, and let us know you're in the room. We want to hear from you. And if you're catching us on the restream, don't be quiet. Show some love in the comments. Don't forget to take that towering stack of unread comics and slam them down on all those like, subscribe, and share buttons. We know that pile isn't getting any smaller, so do something with it. Without further ado, let me show you who's going to be hanging out with us tonight, folks. Here we go. We got Mr. Jay Dee Calderon, Mr. Fred Schwartz, and Mr. Ray Jameson. What's up, fellas?
You know, it's funny. It's the first time you didn't screw up your intro, and Tom's not here. That might be it.
We've deduced what the problem is. Is that what you're trying to get at?
It's Tom.
Of course.
Tom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Tom. Oh, Nivek, what's up? Peace. What's going on? How we doing? Good evening. Before we go any further, I just want to give a shout out to somebody who's almost always in the chat with us, Mr. David Flynn. His mom passed away a couple days ago. David, I'm with you, Pop. Love you, brother. Okay, and my heart goes out to the rest of the family, Pop. With that being said, I hope everybody's loved ones are doing well. Right, we're out here, we're making comic books, we're having fun, but something goes south with one of the people we love, all of that upends in a moment, right? So my best to all your loved ones. I know Ray, you gotta, you're having a kid every other week. Where's the brood at right now? 27, 28?
3. In regards to rapid succession, I've got a 9, an 8, and a 7-year-old.
Okay.
The oldest and the youngest are 31 months apart in age.
Okay.
With a middle one in there somewhere.
I wish them the best, brother. You know what I mean? You're bringing them into comic books. That's how you do, man.
We just came from a comic store today. They all got to pick their own comic.
Nice, man. What did they pick up?
One did Godzilla versus Texas. Another one did Jeffrey, the Marvel comic shark. And then another one picked a vintage Daffy Duck. Donald Duck. Okay.
Is this something you and the missus want to keep them in the PG-13 G area, YA area, or?
Well, everybody matures at different ages, and my kids are repeaters. I don't need them reading something and then I get in trouble at their school, kind of thing.
I'm sorry, what's Peters?
Say that again.
Repeaters.
Apologies. So if they think something's funny, they're going to be cracking that punchline for the next 48 hours excessively, kind of thing.
Okay.
If they see a boob, they'll be like, yo.
We haven't gotten there yet. Maybe. I don't know.
There's no boys in Jeffrey?
So you got a mix.
Boy, girl. So oldest is the boy.
Oh, beautiful, brother.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
So you obviously know which one took the Godzilla.
The youngest girl. She's the surpriser. You know what I mean?
The middle child, she was trying to trace one of the pages already. She's the one that got the Jeffrey the shark. Yeah. What does she choose? She said, I like this one. Why? It's a shark with a blowtorch. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
So, interesting characters, my children.
Cool, brother. Cool, man. Again, I wish them all the best, bro.
Thanks, man.
Do they like Dad's comics? Have they seen Dad's comics?
I have an age limit, so I've told them when they're 13 they can.
Okay.
Just responsibility,
Okay.
There's a time for all of it, and they will, but I don't want to stunt their growth, but at the same time, I want to foster the healthy parts of them being their current ages. We're in no rush. We're having fun.
Yeah. Listen, I'm glad you're at 9. I was watching Freddy Krueger, right? The first time. I'm glad you're keeping them away from that.
Well,
stuff.
I don't know if this helps you or makes you upset, but Freddy Krueger came out the year I was born.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not going to be talking anymore to Mr. Jameson tonight. He's insulted us with his ageism.
What are you talking
Okay.
about? That was such a good year. I was born. Freddie came out. There's so many good stuff that year.
What year was that again?
84, the Orwellian year of 84.
Yeah. I was 8, 9. Yeah, 9. Yeah.
I was
so
born one week before the debut of Secret Wars issue number 1.
Okay. That's cool. You got to pick that book up. You need that. You need to have that book in your collection.
I picked that book off the rack.
All right. So he's
That's
old.
cool, man.
Wow.
That's really cool.
You look way younger than that, JD.
Stop kissing his butt so he won't be mean to you.
I want to stay on his good side for another week. Okay, I hear what you guys tell me. His bad side is bad, so I want to stay on the good side.
All right. So wait, you guys are how old?
43.
So I'm the young guy then. I'm 42.
Calderon's about 77.
You mean 1977, right?
19. No. I wish I was born in 1977. I'm 50.
You know, it's funny. I'm very happy with the year I was born in. I had a lot of fun. I found out a lot of stuff. I was born in 68. I'll be 58 this year. And you know, and I'll always look better than Jay.
Bullshit, buddy. You know, I'm looking through some of the pictures the other day of me and other Comic Cons, and like the whole beard is gray, right? The whiskers that are coming in. I mean, excuse me, the whole beard is black. The whiskers that are coming out are black. I was like, God damn, that was a handsome SOB, right? And I still am. But listen, guys, I wanna go into the topic of the night right off the bat, and for those who have not seen tonight's topic, right, is small press distribution ramping up. Mm-hmm. So most of us come from the direct-to-consumer world, right? Calderon, I believe, is the only one that has ever had a foothold in the direct market, right? He's been in comic shops.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you have a lot of small press guys that are bringing self-publishers into their catalog so they could get into stores. We know that Massive has been bringing people in, right, and getting them through Lunar. We know Prana Distributors has been doing that as well. I believe Filbo has done that as well, right, Ray? Right? Antarctic Press has almost always done that, right? But there is another player on the board. Mm-hmm. And going over to ICV2, right? This article was written by Bridget Alverson a couple days ago. And Frank Forte and Asylum Press is opening up the doors, and he's extended that to Hero Tomorrow founder Ted Sikora. I met Ted last year at New York Comic Con, but he's been out there doing it for a while, right? And Ted is now going to be releasing his books to direct market. I don't know if he's done that before. I don't see Bridget mentioning that, but he's going to be there right now. And Lunar co-founder Christina Merkler said that deals like this make it easy for the distributor to carry small publishers. It's a lot of work for them to have to take in 10 separate publishers, she said. It's much easier to bring it in under one banner. Then some of those publishers will come out of their contract. As long as their numbers make sense, we'll take them on separately outside those banners once those contracts are up. That's the plan for a couple of these publishers. So I want to thank Bridget for getting that from Christina, right? And I want to wish Ted all the luck by getting into the direct market. But do you guys think that this is a growing trend? Do you think that other small press guys who have a distribution deal should be bringing in self-publishers to give them a shot at the direct market or not? Where do you guys sit on this?
I'll give you 2 words.
Go ahead.
Power vacuum.
Power vacuum.
Yes.
Okay.
Whenever you have anything where there's a big fish in a relatively smaller pond, or the head shark of a large ocean, and suddenly you take that shark out, well, somebody's going to fill that void, and that's what we're seeing here.
Somebody's going to fill that void. Okay. All right, but they're still hitting that stopgap with Lunar. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're filling much of a void. They're getting in there. They're opening up the door. Do you think other people should open up the door as well? Do you think self-publishers should give up that big of a bite? I don't know how big they're giving up. Any bites?
I should clarify the other dynamic along with that. And that's I guess the best way to put it is something like Diamond, which is the obvious example when I say power vacuum. In a way, they could, and some would claim they did, they were gatekeepers, so they had control, where these new individuals coming in and filling that void, suddenly there's more opportunity, or people are trying to advertise that. So they're just trying to kind of see if they can get their feet in those waters kind of thing.
Okay. Fred, what do you think about this?
So definitely I'm hey Tom, definitely I'm the newest to this industry, right? So I don't know much about the distribution process, but what just as an outsider, I think I think it's probably a good opportunity for people to get their things in front of a larger audience and like eventually grow. I mean, I just as not everybody wants to wear like a publisher hat or like figure out the business side of it. Some people want to stay behind and just write and do things like that. So if somebody's able to alleviate that for people, that's great. Also, what it is a foot in the door. Like life's a bargain and you can have whatever you want, but usually you have to sacrifice first. And it just is a case by case basis. If you're willing to, sacrifice a bit of your IP or a bit of your rights to move up and get a bit more exposure. So it's a trade-off and it's going to depend on each individual.
Okay. Calderon, what are your thoughts, kid?
I think it's a good idea. It's funny. I just recently did a campaign for someone who's outside the country, right? So they can have their stuff brought in. The thing is, it always boils down to numbers, right? Like, what can a person get you? How much can you get? Some deals are 50-50, some are 70-30, some are 60-40. And then the other thing is, are they trying to claim any piece of your IP, right? That's a big issue, right? I know for myself, that would be a big issue.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. If it's 50-50, it's 50-50. But it also depends on who's doing what, right? So if you go through somebody like Antarctic Press, it's 50-50, but they're covering the expenses when it comes down to printing and that sort of thing, and housing and all that sort of thing. Whereas, you might go through another place and they might say, well, 50-50, but they want you to cover those expenses. Right. Or maybe it'll be 70-30 and you'll cover those expenses, because then at least that way, it is like, well, if I'm going to cover those expenses, then, you might want to I might want to have a bigger cut. Right.
Well, I'm sorry. I want to make sure somebody wants to come in. I want to make sure he's settled before I bring him in, because I see he's moving around the camera a lot. So when he gives me a thumbs up, I'll bring him in. Okay. But in the old days, you had to cover it regardless, right? And
no,
excuse me. If
you were a self-publisher,
you were self-publisher,
but if you're going through a publisher, the expectation usually through a publisher is that they will pick up those costs.
Okay.
But I've seen other deals come about where they're asking the creatives to cover those costs.
Right. I know with like Image, you got to cover a lot of those costs.
No, you don't.
Of course you do. You got to pay $3,500 into the company.
Jay, no, you don't.
You cover the printing. No, the printing comes out of your bite, bro.
Jay, let me finish.
Finish.
So they will print the book, and you're correct. They take it out after.
Yes.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you upfronting the money.
Okay.
They don't do that at Image. At Image, they will cover everything. You can get an order of 1,500 books. They'll print, let's say, 10,000 of them, and you'll just owe.
Okay.
Up
So
until
you and I are going around the same block different ways. That's what just happened. All right. Because either way, they're taking their bite. All right. They're taking their bite, and you still got to cover
the difference
expense, bro.
The difference is whether it's up front or on the back end. You understand? The difference is okay, I'm paying the printer, right? As opposed to the publisher paying the printer. That's the difference. Do you understand? Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying.
And writing a check right now to the printer, as opposed to the publisher doing that, right? And then they collect the money afterwards.
So in other words,
everybody can afford.
It's not out of your pocket, it's out of your profit. That's the difference.
Not everybody can afford.
Correct. Not everybody can afford. You get it tight for no reason. I understand what you're saying totally. You think I don't hear what's coming out of your mouth. Just because you're 72 doesn't mean you're not speaking the right language. Let me bring somebody else in here. Hold on a second. Somebody who's in the direct market right now. Right? Somebody who's got one of these deals.
Oh, and in actuality, I'm in the same deal Tom is, because I have one of my books running in AP as well.
Oh, get out of here. Very nice. You could have said something about that earlier.
Yeah, well, you don't do any research, so I should have.
Look at what you're doing. You're here on the show talking to me, so I know you're not out there making big bucks, kid. All right?
Yeah, I know. This is true. As a matter of fact, go ahead. Go, Tom, go. Just talk.
Yeah, go, Tom, go.
Okay, let me tell you why you're all wrong, because that's what I'm here for.
That's why we like you here, Tom. Tell us why we're wrong.
This show is missing personality and a drive, and I had to show up. So no. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. I caught the gist of it because of all the Image talk and publishers taking bites and all this kind of stuff. And so what is the actual question?
I don't fucking remember. I don't know.
Can we clarify that we need for Tom to enter the glass shattering from the Stone Cold Steve Austin music? And then he walks in. Okay, sorry, continue.
I don't know. Calderon's telling me one way to get to 42nd. I was telling him a different way to get a 42nd.
So
Street.
with Image, with Image, he's sort of right. There is like even just a flat. We expect you to pay. I think it's $2,500. There is a flat fee. They've had a flat fee at Image for like a long time. Like, we expect you to pay this amount of money regardless of how many books you sold. Famously, Robert Kirkman and Invincible, they weren't selling enough money to even cover that $2,500. But Kirkman was like, fuck it, I'll just keep paying it. Don't worry about it. Just keep making this book. I will go out of pocket and make this book keep happening. And then, Ryan Otley came on board, and it changed gears, and it became what it became because it had the chance to survive. And sometimes that's what a comic needs. It needs a chance to survive and find an audience rather than just be like, well, we did 4 issues and it didn't work and we're out of here. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So tonight, what we're bringing up is that there are small press companies, right? Indie publishers that are bringing in a lot of the self-publisher guys, right? Just like
so
AP,
sort of like massive deal.
Right, massive Prana distributors. And what I'm bringing up is also the Silent Press with Frank Forte. He just brought Ted Sikora into his deal with Lunar, right? So Ted can now get his books into direct market through what Frank is doing with the Silent Press and through Lunar. So what I brought to the other guys is this going to be a continuing trend? Do you see this happening with other publishers who have deals with Lunar? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you see this ramping up? Do you see this building up? Do you see this as something that's really not going to last long? What's your perspective on it?
So I'll just tell you my perspective through the AP thing that happens, because AP is in Lunar through Massive.
Right.
And I'll tell you that even though sales numbers are decent, not astronomical, but they're decent, because of the split with the publisher, and because of in the Lunar case or in the Massive case, it's a $300 per book kick out. Again, flat fee. You have to pay $300 every time you list a book to Massive. Because of that, because of the kickback, there's almost no money for the person making the book.
Right.
So I think it's going to depend a lot on what the deals are, you know. So okay, we're gonna split it 50-50. Plus you have to pay the 300, or who's paying the 300, or is it 60-40 or whatever. So I think a lot of it is going to depend on what the deals are. But the bottom line is that there's not enough sales to warrant all of this for a long period of time. You might get a little bump, you might get a little, you know, might happen for a period of time, but no one's suddenly selling 5,000-10,000 units because they're at Lunar. That's just not happening. That's not a real thing. You have to be going into like Image or Dark Horse or, you know, Oni Press or something like that to have any sort of real attempt at making higher into the thousands of multiple thousands of sales. So I think it's a lot of spinning plates, just kind of what's it going to be, what's it going to mean, how long is it going to last, and I don't have any answers for that, but I still think that there's value in being in the direct market. I've seen it with Critter, but it's not like we're suddenly selling 5,000 units of Critter, you know, because we're in these distribution houses. So I don't know.
So Marvin brings up a comment here. Here are some of the numbers: 62% off the top, and $500 a month for marketing. Marvin, is this through Massive AP? Who's this through, brother? Give me a little bit more, Pop. Here we go, Larry. I agree. I agree. Missing something. So, is this a vanity move for self-publisher guys? If there's no money on this, what can you get out of this, fellas, by being on the shelves?
Well, I've always said this, and I'll leave you all with this because I have stuff going on tonight. But I've always said that being in the direct market, either on your own or now through these little systems, it's vanity to a degree because you're not going to make any money. You have to understand, you're not going to make any money, nothing significant. So, but the other side of it is the effect that I've seen on Critter. I have seen sales on Critter at Comic-Cons, on eBay, on my web store. You know, I've seen sales and interest and awareness elevate because I'm with Antarctic Press right now. So even though there's not like a shitload of money coming back to me doing the book, I am getting awareness and sales and value in other avenues. And so I think that's sort of the vanity element. The vanity is, hey, I'm in stores and comic books. Awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. Please understand, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to be prepared, I think, to take advantage of the eyeballs so that when they're like, oh, what is this? And then they go to DM Ray's website, can they get this stuff or more stuff from his site, from his eBay, from whatever? That's the infrastructure I think you have to have built in so that when you are in comic book stores, that trickle-down effect can help you on the back end.
I think also to add to the point you made earlier about Kirkman, he waited long enough to find that audience.
Yeah.
And this just kind of sounds like what you're saying there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It worked out for him because in that first season of Invincible, right? They went 6 weeks and he sold 120,000 units on Amazon alone.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and an average of $12 a pop. That's 1.2 million.
Yeah.
bucks.
And Todd McFarlane did an interview talking about the value of what Kirkman has. And he said, listen, he didn't make all his money because he sold these Walking Dead books and because of all this, not even because of the TV show. He was like, look, Kirkman finished his series and now he can reprint that for the rest of his life in all kinds of different formats, hardcovers, compendiums, omnibus, now the mini books, right? Black and white versions, colored versions. Like that is eternal revenue that he can have forever. Obviously, the TV show is a great marketing tool to sell the comics. Same with the Invincible cartoon, obviously. But Todd was very much talking about the value of you have all of this content that you can now reprint forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you think that this these kinds of like deals and contracts like suit like a specific type of project, like a 3-issue miniseries, probably not good, but if you get in with it doesn't seem like it would support like an ongoing either, you know, unless that's really justifying it. So maybe there's like a sweet spot of like a certain number of issues to maximize what Tom was talking about, the value of your property.
Well, you also have to remember that a lot of stuff now, the market exists right now where a lot of people are bringing books to publishers or whatever after they're already crowdfunded, right? So a lot of the costs have already been recouped. Like for Critter, for me, if I was just making Critter and giving it to AP, it would be going in the hole constantly because I'd have thousands of dollars I wouldn't be recouping. But because it's all sunk costs from 15 years ago and I'm just giving them the old product, I'm now able to generate money and awareness through the product that already exists. So what you're seeing now is people will be like, okay, well, I kickstarted this thing and now I'm publishing it through Vault or Scout or whoever, and they're like, so I don't need to make a lot of money on the direct market because it's already paid for. And then hopefully again the trickle down effect is what you want. You want that, okay, I funded it on Kickstarter, I sent it to retail, and now the people that are buying retail are learning who I am and what I do, and now I can sell on my website.
Right.
That's sort of the life cycle of comics at our level kind of right now.
Okay.
That's the way I see it anyway. If someone sees it a different way, let me know. But that's the way that I see it.
I don't know where you sit on this, kid.
Oh, I didn't even hear what Tom was saying. Tom, just repeat all that, please.
Sure. So,
yeah, I mean, all right, because I was Marvin at the end something, and I was just work, but Tom is right. If we weren't running through Kickstarter, right, we would be in the hole continuously, right? The thing is like I said, again, finding the right deal with the right people, right? That's going to be the tough part. Is it going to be a place like, I don't know, AP or Prana? And then there comes a saturation point where even those companies will be like, all right, I got too much, right? How much do they want to deal with, right? And then, it's also a thing of like, who do you want to pair up with, right? Do you just want to pair up with some dude who's just like there just to feed off of you and, just take money off your plate? Or do you actually want to try to team up with someone who actually gives a shit about comic books?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And there are very few people within the space, I feel, that give a shit about comics.
Yeah.
Right. They mostly care about their own pockets. Mostly they're interested in just, if they're certain creators, they only give a shit about their own books. They don't give two fucks about anybody else's books. You understand? There are plenty of those.
Right.
Right. There are plenty of people who, I mean, look, I've done it time and again to you guys, right? I've asked you, what books do you read? You fuckers barely read anything.
I wish I could show you my pile.
But then we ask Calderon what he's reading, and he's like, "Oh, Elementals from."
And don't tell me that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Spawn fucking count.
Why not?
Well, I read a lot more indie comics than I read Marvel right now.
Yeah, I agree. I got a pile.
I'm putting you all in the spot. I apologize for that. This is the me part, Fred. This is the me part.
Okay. Let's chime in with some of the chat over here for a second. Larry comes back with slightly more exposure. That's what you get. Champe asks, how cheap is it to print on demand system there in the USA? Would it be affordable?
It's not affordable.
It is not, Pop. It is not affordable at all. And Marvin answers him. You have to print in high numbers.
Yeah.
Marvin makes Champe sad. It's his running hashtag. You have to be printing books under $1 to make a profit in the direct market. That's true. So in the end, the real value is, so in the end is the real value in having a completed series with everything else following.
I just want to point out how Jay Dee has now hijacked it. We're going to talk about that now for the rest of the show. Just that.
No,
that's Daphne.
That's Daphne. Oh,
is it? Oh,
yeah.
You got me. You got
here
me.
we go. Antarctic Press won complete stories. That's why miniseries work there. Good. And Jay Dee Daphne. Oh no, it's Daphne. I'm posting in the wrong account. I care about old AP books. They better do the better they do, the better I do. Right. Yeah. But then one thing that's got to be brought up is you don't know who else they've brought up, right? And you don't know potentially they damage the brand, right? And what if they go south?
What do you mean by that?
Affiliation stuff like
Yeah,
guilty.
let's scale it down for
I
a
get
second with
that.
the whole like the Neil Gaiman thing, right? What if one of the creators in the umbrella that you're with has a scandal, and that's
I don't honestly think that matters because, like, just
Okay.
as an example, Neil Gaiman, like, it's not like he took down Vertigo with him. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he's associated with all that stuff, and those guys are like whatever. So I don't think that's
I don't know.
too much of a big thing as far as like, because it would just be cut out. It would just be sort of like, oh, this is a problem. The publisher will be like, we're done with that, and then
Right.
the rest of the people will just
Streaming, Streaming says they're done with that, right? Because we're not getting another Sandman.
Yeah.
The last season of Good and Evil is out. It was dropped, I think, already.
Yeah.
Dead Boy Detectives went kaputs. You know,
But
so
none of that is what I'm saying. Is none of that affected anybody else's stuff?
Okay.
Sandman was essentially done, though, I think, too.
Oh yeah, it was only set up for 2 seasons.
It did, well, the last season coincided with the end of the book, so
Okay.
yeah, they rushed it. They condensed it.
So, guys, I'm going to leave you there. Glad I got to hop on for a few minutes. Enjoy
All right,
yourself.
cool. No, we're going to do trivia now that you're gone, so everybody else has a chance.
Good.
Way to go. Thanks, buddy. Thanks
Five,
for giving
Hold
me
on,
everything.
Tom, before you go.
5 top things about the Wizard of Oz. Add that to your.
Hey, Tom,
your list.
2 words. Exit with 2 words.
Have a good
please.
time out there at the con, Tom. We'll talk
Tom,
about
guys,
it
later.
later.
2 words. Got to say it.
What?
2 words.
What is it?
Come on, Tom, do it. Okay, don't say laser blast. That's fine.
You motherflower. I think he's gone. He's in frozen mode. All right. Okay. So look, we went through this. Everybody had their take. And another bit of news.
Dave, hold on.
What's up?
What was your take?
My take is self-publishers need to be a hell of a lot more educated before they decide to jump into the direct market.
Fair enough.
They get seducted. Maybe seducted is the wrong word, right? But they feel like the golden ring is right there within their reach, and they'll go for it, and they'll overextend themselves with not being ready to understand everything that they need to handle.
I really like what you're saying there. I've heard it phrased the other way of the wisest man realizes he knows very little, and I think you got to be very wise going into this.
Yeah, you do. I'm not saying not to. Right? But do your work, right? You're shifting from direct to consumer to direct market, right? So your business strategy ends up becoming high margin to volume based, right? You need to sell units to make that up. And you need to understand that your percentages, like Tom said, it's lower than low, right? Now, if you're going to use that to leverage something else, right? If it's part of your strategy, way to go, and I hope you're successful with it. But don't overextend yourself, man. You know what I mean? Don't overextend yourself, man. I remember hearing this one story about Walmart, right? You mentioned Google Time a little while ago. And there was this guy who was a dairy farmer, and he was selling milk to Walmart, and it was killing his business. He couldn't meet their schedule. He couldn't meet their price points with what he was producing, and he over-indexed, and he almost went out of business. The only way to save himself was to pull out of Walmart, right? And he wasn't doing the volume he was doing, but he was making it up in margin. So sometimes, we get blinded by our own dreams and we get caught up in it. And I hope the creators out there don't get caught up in it, because I want them to make more books, right? I think all of us benefit by there being more creators out there and introducing those in their circles to comic books. So if they over-index and shoot themselves in the foot, there's one less book that could be out there in the marketplace. Finding a home, not just for them, but finding a home for other people to open the door and meet us through.
That's fair. But my question to you and to any creator, I mean, not just you, I mean, even to Fred and Ray, what are ultimately your goals, right? And what would be enough for you, right?
Repeat that. I'm sorry. Go.
So, what are your goals
Yeah.
within the direct market? Like, let's say we were talking about just the direct market.
Yeah.
What are your goals, right? And what would be enough for you, right?
Okay.
Like, what's the number that would be enough? Where you could say, okay, this is the number I need to do X, Y, Z. Okay.
Mhm.
So those are the things I think people really need to consider, right? Like, what are your goals within the direct market? Like, what are you looking to achieve? Some people they just want to print. They just want to get their stuff out there. They don't even care, right? They don't care if they make penny one. They don't even care, right? Some people it's more a thing of they want to make as much money as they possibly make, and that's fine, right? That's fine. That's a goal. Some people, and then the other thing aspect to it is if you don't achieve those goals, right, within the direct market, right, making dollar X, right, is it something you can continue? Right? Is it something you're willing to take the financial burden on yourself to continue?
You guys want to take a stab at this first? Because
I mean, it's layered. It's layered.
It's layered.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go. So my goal, with fisticuffs, you laugh, get prepared to laugh in my face. But yeah, I want to be, where Robert Kirkman is with Invincible. I would love to like level up and level up and level up until it gets adapted one day. So, call that what it is. But Fisticuffs is like my baby project. And it's really personal to me because of the subject matter and stuff. And, I had, when I was new to this, I was like Jay Dee was warning about, I knew nothing. I thought I would just make the comic as a whole and submit it to a publisher. And like Image would be like, where you been all our lives, kid? We need you. And they would pay for everything and sweep me up and I would make lots of money. That is not how it happens at all. When I first got when I first started submitting to people, I got accepted to somebody pretty quickly and I was excited and I had the high going and stuff. And then as I kept thinking about it and doing research and stuff and asking around, I had reservations and I wasn't ready to give that project up. And I'm glad I didn't because, it wouldn't have worked out, seeing what happened, so my goal for me is to take it one step at a time. Now that I found this Kickstarter path, I want to complete all the ones on Kickstarter, recoup as much of the money as possible. Then the next step would be direct market to hopefully get to as prominent as a publisher that I can net, so that, I feel of Fisticuffs because it is so personal. I feel like a mother. Right. Like my whole, for years, I was like a bad parent addicted to drugs who couldn't care for her kid. And now that I'm finally starting to be able to take care of it, I just want to give it the best life possible. Right. So the next step would be find the publisher to give it the biggest exposure and the best chance to succeed. And then when I see the book, and I've seen, we've done trailers and stuff, like the idea of and I use Robert Kirkman as an example, not that I idolize Robert Kirkman. I really don't read much of his work, to be honest. But the idea that he got to make Invincible in a way that it's still his story and the art style honors the comic and whatever, that's the dream to me, to see my story rendered in a way where Stan's art kind of lives through it. That's the dream. Now, is that far off? Yeah, probably. I'll probably not. But, that's the goal, and just to keep leveling up and try to give my kid the best life possible. So,
okay.
We'll see.
I like that. Ray, where are you sitting on this, kid?
Similar, but different in a couple of ways. Mine, I've said this before. This is not my day job. This is just strictly done on passion. It's a passion project. That's not to say Fred's isn't. It. His is obviously a passionate story. For me, I still have yet to put this to words properly, and the best I can put it is I just started off with this mini series, and I needed to get it out of my system. I don't know how else to define that. Putting that aside, there's been a lot of really cool byproducts. The thing I'm discovering most throughout this journey, it's all the side quests that are most interesting. I mean, the main quest doing this trilogy it's great. It's awesome. I love it to pieces, and I'm getting a lot of people really pressuring me to continue on with it, which was never the initial plan. But I am writing for 3 different individuals right now, short stories. One I don't think is public yet, but the other 2 are, and I'm very excited for that. I guess the best way to put it is my book was good enough that other people considered me, I guess is the best way to put it. And again, going back to my original goal, I wanted to make this one story that was worthy of a local comic shop, being on the same spinner rack as insert your favorite comic here. And I felt that was accomplished, but it's also validated and reiterated when someone else is like, would you like to write something for me? Cool. Let's see where this goes. Mine's completely all byproduct. I think going back to the Google time reference, mine is just for fun. And because of that, it's more, in my opinion, there's less pressure financially and other dynamics because let's just see where this magic is supposed to play out. I have less constraints in regards to deadlines and other things.
It's funny. You not funny. Excuse me. It's ironic. You're doing the legwork to level up, like Fred was talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we all got a direction. To answer a little bit more of what Calderon was saying, right? My number. You know what? I gotta be selling a minimum of 10,000 units just to pay the team if we're going into the direct market, right? Because 10,000 units is at a $5 cover price, it's 50 grand, right? But if I'm only getting about 20% off of it, that's about 10 grand, right? To pay or having it taken out of the printing cost, but to pay the rest of the team and to do whatever marketing needs to be done to promote the book, whether it's online streaming or paying for ads somewhere or paying for live reads, product placement ads. You know, and 10,000 is not enough to keep the lights on at home for me, right? So we'd have to be going a lot further than there. But that's a starting point because, like Ray, I have a day job, right? I'm blue collar. The lunch goes in the pail every day. That's what keeps the lights on. Out of everybody that works with me, they're the ones that make the money, right? Whatever I'm supposed to make goes back into the team, goes back into the production, goes back into, paying for the StreamYard platform, right? Paying for the website, but the perishable expenses that there's no recouping on. So if 10,000 is barely enough to keep 10,000 units a month is barely enough to keep the lights on. And a lot of books are not making 10,000 units a month, let me tell you. Then the place right now for me to stay is direct to consumer, where the margin is there, right? What about you, Calderon? Where are you sitting on this? It was your question. Do you remember it?
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's like I've always said, this is a passion project for me. It always has been. It's my very expensive hobby, right? I have a day job just like Jay, right? I don't think I have a pail, but I do go to work. I'm more like Tupperware, but the thing is that everybody's expenses are different, and all of our goals are different, right? Like I know where I've been, right? I've worked with companies that have sold 10,000 plus books, right? Just recently did a Kickstarter, in the 6 figures, with something that I written a while ago, Tenchi Muyu. But I'm like, through Kickstarter, I'm just trying to pay for the books.
Right.
Through the direct market, it's more to just get it out there. Whatever funds I get back in is just going to go right back to the project anyway. So it's not, you know what I mean? It's not that that dire for me. My team is covered, from what I'm making on Kickstarter, and that's always been my goal, right? And like I said, the dynamics are different. Anyone, outside of like Image and Boom and all these other companies, I mean, I'm pretty sure Ben would tell you maybe his top seller is selling 6,000 copies, right? To sell beyond that and be outside of Image or one of these other companies is gonna be difficult. That's for anyone, marketing or not, because unfortunately, we're indie comics, and I mean, unless you hit that zeitgeist, and the last time we hit it was TMNT. Maybe a little bit with Usagi Yojimbo, and a lot of that came with help from TMNT because they crossed over with those guys. But there hasn't been a lot of that recently,
right?
So it's a tough. It's tough, man. It's a tough road.
It's a tough racket, right? It's a tough racket, and this is the one we chose. I always say this: with all the knowledge I've gained, I could have opened up any other business and be a hell of a lot more successful than I am as opposed to comic books. Because like you guys, I went into this just wanting to make comic books. I did not know that I needed to learn so much more in the back of the house, not production, publication side, to make sure that the lights are on, the bills are paid, the team gets some money. Here we go back into the chat for a moment. What is better in the U.S.? Many low-quality books per year or a couple of well-done books per year? All right, we'll get to that. We'll put a pin in that one. Larry says the goal is to be the top-selling book for that brand, but what I need from them is more money. Let's say $6,000 to cover the cost of making the book, which we do not get. Marvin Champe, iron sharpens iron. Quality leads to quality. If the market is about always showing your best, it starts to feed itself. Okay. Larry wants to talk about this so bad. You're in the chat, baby. Come on. He's also layered. Marvin, stop making Champe's. Marvin, stop breaking Champe's hearth. Okay, heart. Okay. Burks, I guess he's referring to you, Ray. It can be fun playing in somebody else's sandbox. I think you're on a good track. Yeah, he is saying it right. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Unless you're with Image, getting 10,000 is not likely. Granda Comics, direct to consumers is the future, baby. Niobe Origins was AP's second highest selling book a couple of years back. It did 3,000 copies, and I made less than 1,000. $6,000 is a nope, right? And then, so according to Calderon, the more issues is better than high quality thingy that I was talking about. No. I don't know, bud. I don't know.
How about more copies at a high quality, or more books at a high quality? Right? Take your time, do the books, and make them high quality.
This is a high quality book. All right. This is Vicky Sticks number 2. Right.
You don't even know your own book number?
Bro, I'm working on 5 right now. Right. But this is Vicky Sticks number 2. We just fulfilled all our Kickstarter rewards. Written by me, illustrated by Dani Hadiwijaya, colored by Champion, who's in the chat. Issue 3 will be going live in August, also by the same creative team. But one of the ways me and Calderon go back and forth, this is one of our most opposing forces concepts is I am all about book printing. Calderon is not.
I mean, we can. I mean, you can.
There are benefits to both, right? Both of us need the benefits on both sides.
Yes.
Not knocking either one of them, but I lean more towards this, and Calderon leans more to the others. But he understands why I'm here, and I do understand why he's there. It's no. We fight live. We fight all the fucking time. We will fight. We'll fight.
Some things you agree on,
but some things we do agree on, right? And
the sky is blue.
I was waiting for a laser blast comment from somebody.
Negative.
I'll listen. He knows Laser Blast is his movie. You know, secretly he's probably wearing his his Laser Blast under pajamas right now underneath his clothes.
The making of Megaforce DVD just went live today.
There you go.
I'm picking that up.
Nice.
$30 for the Blu-ray. So
Nice.
I'm gonna
when the Laser Blast one comes out, you can get that one as well.
Again, negative on that one, Doctor.
I think we should all get a copy and all individually send it to him.
That's not cool, Ray.
Crickets, I love it.
That's not cool, Ray.
I'm
you
cool
guys,
because my mom says so, man. It's all good.
you guys have led me astray, by the way. I was in a conversation the other day and I dropped a Laser Blast reference and everybody looked at me like I had 9 heads. I was like,
I think you were straight. Calderon prompted.
That's the correct response.
Yeah,
I was like, man, everybody's starting to like me, and I dropped that joke. I'm like, oh, damn, there goes that credit.
Wait a minute.
You see, I told you not to fall on that train, bro. It's not the path you want to take.
Ride those rails. Don't take that advice.
I do lean to bulk printing, right? Offset printing, because I could get my cost per unit down to under $1. I do make high margin on that, and we could do other things with it, not just sales, right? Can it lead to sales down the road? Which is how I use them also. Again, Calderon doesn't like that.
It's not a thing about liking. I'm just saying that I feel it is a faulty way of. I mean, it leaves you no money. If you're making $10,000-$15,000 per campaign, fine, go for it. You understand? Right. But if you're making $2,000 to $5,000 campaign, probably not the best idea, because the thing is that you want to hold on to as much of your capital as you can.
Okay,
by giving it away through bulk printing, right? So you're sacrificing your now for your future, right? But you might not have a future.
Okay.
Okay.
You might not have a future. Fair enough. But I'm planning for the future.
Right. You're planning for the future.
Okay.
But the thing is you're sacrificing your now.
You've got money sitting in inventory.
Okay. So I like that, Ray. I like that. Okay. So let me break down quick numbers for you, right? Convention comic book math. All right.
Right. I will be more, go ahead.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun with this. All right. So the Vicky campaign made $2,400. Yeah.
Okay.
Vicky campaign made about $2,400, a little over, right? Okay. Let's say $2,400. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
After the 10% Kickstarter cut, which was $240 that came off the top, then went to Kickstarter, I was left with how much, boys?
$2,150?
$2,160. But go ahead.
$2,160. Okay. All right. Now, good. All right. The printing up 2,000 units cost me $1,285. Covered my shipping, covered my taxes, covered my tariffs, covered the printing of the book. All right, $1,285 divided by 2,000, that is 64 cents per unit. All right. So,
how many units did you walk away from? I'm sorry, it's in the beginning.
2,000 units.
Okay.
All right. I spent about $500. Let's round it up to 500 in shipping costs, right? Shipping and handling. So the packaging and what I paid to ship that stuff out. Another, what do we printed up the cards for? Let's say $35, right? For 500 pieces, right? Times 3. So let's say another $100, right? So that's 600 on top of the $1,285. That's 18? Let's say $1,900. That still gives me $2,160. $2,160. Another $40 for bags and boards.
Well, it leaves you about $220 profit at that point.
$220 profit. Okay, so I'm ahead of the game, and when I sell book 1,
but are you?
Well, the production cost, right?
Production costs.
Production haven't, but that's the game I'm playing, right? Production costs haven't been recouped yet, or at least 200 and change goes to cover the production costs.
But that's not even probably a tenth. That's like 5%.
But dude, I'm selling. I got 3 cons already booked for the year. I know I can move them, right? So that'll come back.
But that's bro. That's like wishing on a moon.
That is not wishing. That is
you
confidence in my hustle. That is understanding what I can sell.
Right, but I'm just saying that I'm a little concerned because let's say you can't sell it. Let's say you don't.
Okay, let's say I don't. Then I shouldn't be making comic books anymore. Plain and simple. Plain and simple, bro. We know that. We know. I always talk about how much I make in New York Comic Con alone. All right, but let's say at the next 3 cons I got, I sell a minimum of $100 each. That's excuse me, $100 each. Right?
That's 500.
That's 15 on top of the 17, bro.
But also, what do you expect?
Before the end of the year, I've recouped all of my expenses.
But what?
All of my expenses.
Con expenses.
Right. I mean, that's con
expenses. Okay. Right. So now at the end of the year, when I go to my accountant, right? Am I? There you go, baby.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
What? I'm sorry.
It's just basically
expenses it away. Yeah. So
you have an LLC. Well, so you have an LLC, so you can do.
Yeah, I got an LLC, bro.
Right.
That's a game. That's a game. And if the next year when I file, right, the United States government wants to say that the money they gave me back as in an income tax refund is earned money, right? They claimed it as revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Then you know it's coming back to my bottom line. Yeah. Did I turn a fucking profit? I turned a fucking profit. If I add that to everything else I'm doing at the end of the year. Am I playing it by quarter? Am I playing it by month? No, I'm playing it by the end of the fucking year. Am I in the black? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think
It's not per con.
I just don't think you're in the black, bro. I think you're fudging your
in the black.
I
even told you last. I even told you what we made last year.
You're fudging your numbers, bro.
Does anybody watch?
I will break all of that shit down for you, bro.
Does anybody watch pro wrestling?
I quickly broke it down for you, Pop. I just quickly broke it down with quick convention math.
Right, convention math doesn't work, bro.
I like where Fred's going. I think this is good,
bro.
like wrestling personalities.
No, if you've ever seen pro wrestling, like back in the day, this is like Scott Steiner math, where he's like, "I got a 33 and a third chance of winning," and you got that one.
Like, right? 90% of the time that I'm wrong, I'm right.
Yeah.
The other 10% of the time that I'm wrong, you're not right. You know what I mean? That's how it fucking works.
So I got a 247% chance of making a profit. It makes perfect sense.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, bro. The Canon, who you printed with? I'm printing overseas. Canon. I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna say I'm not printing overseas, right? Because here's the deal, right? Here's the thing. If I want to give away 10 of these books, and I did print on demand at almost $3, and I wanted to give away 10 books, right? I'm giving away $30, bro. I'm giving away $30. But if I want to give away $10 at offset, 10 books at offset, I'm giving away $6.40. I could give away 10 books, and in the next $5 that I've sold, I've made a profit. I've recouped that loss. And we talk about shrink all the time. Don't get upset. Don't get tight. Don't get fucking tight, kid.
Bro, I'm not tight. Your business model is not good. That's all I'm going to say.
Of course it's good.
It's not good. It's not
I've
good.
been printed books I've been doing this since 2008.
And I've been doing it since 1992, bro.
That's right. So,
all right.
I'm not saying did I come out at any point and say your path is wrong?
Bro, listen,
No,
I'm just
but
saying.
You're saying that mine is, but it's worked for me. It's worked for me, bro.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
William in the comments is on my wavelength here. 60%.
I'm sorry, what's up, Ray?
William in the comments. William T.
Okay, we'll get to Granda, but are you taking more than one book to cons? Yes, I'm taking more than one book to cons, Pop. 60% of the time, it works every time. That's right, it does.
Yep.
All right. Your path is your path. My path is my path. All right. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm saying I got experience.
What was one of the first things I ever told you when I first met you?
I don't fucking know.
You don't know? You don't remember? Do you remember the words? Do you remember these words? I don't want to see you hurt yourself. I don't want to see you hurt yourself.
I see me hurt myself.
Yeah, I don't want to see you hurt yourself.
I'm hurting myself, kid.
Listen, bro, it's okay. It's okay.
It's
okay.
No,
Listen, you apparently already know. So do what you do.
But see, what? Here's the thing. I feel like you're trying to shame me with the way I'm taking my path. It's my path.
Okay, so it's your path, so go do it.
Right? It's my path. You know what? Everybody who's worked with me over here has never complained about not getting their money. Everybody's getting paid. Right? My wife is saying, hey, we get to go to this place. We get to go to that place based on the con. She's happy. We're not losing money. The lights are still on. Right? I got a great production schedule for what's coming up. Obviously, it's working. Is it going to work for everybody? No, it's not. It's not. It's what works for me. I'm happy with it. And I'm not putting any shame on anybody else with how they do it. And if somebody can take the things that I do and save themselves a couple pennies, hey, man, I'll share that info with you. Mm-hmm. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. You take what can be applied and apply it. And if not, keep it moving. Find somebody else and find out what works for them and go for it.
I was going to use my HP printer from home from now on.
Use that shit.
Just staple them together.
Listen,
fold them in half.
Zines are coming back, man. Zines are coming back hard. You know, the Japanese have embraced them, and believe it or not, there is a big culture of them here doing zines.
Yeah. So, what are they called? The unlicensed zines that they have conventions for in Japan?
That's the I know what you're talking about. There's the big one. Don't make me look it up.
It's like people run their own Turtles comics out there, right? Yeah. And they go for it. How are they getting away with it? I don't know. But whatever. Here we go. The Catanaut sounds good to me. I wish I could get to that price point. Hopefully. The missus, but I don't get paid. You get paid, baby. You get paid. You get paid, girl. You know you get paid.
Dojinshi.
Dojinshi. Okay.
I mean, I'm probably mispronouncing it too. So.
Okay. All right.
But believe it or not, a lot of the doujinshi is usually a lot of adult work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. Once I discovered that, I was like, because there's Comic Cat, which is their big independent comic book convention, but it's like it's mostly doujinshi, and I mean like 98% of it, and the other 98% of that 98% is all adult work.
60% of the time, right?
It works every time. There we go. Granda. Oh, excuse me, Granda.
Doujinshi. Yep.
Doujinshi. Okay, Doujinshi. I thought it was G. All right. Been working with Jay for 3 years. He's never taken me to a New York con. Sad, yes. I live in another continent, but yet. It's funny. I was talking about that with Granda today, man. I hope everything's well. Hopefully you can make it out here one day. New York Comic Con is not for everybody. It's an event. It's a fucking event. But hopefully everyone gets to experience it at least once. I want to make it to San Diego. I just know the way I do things, I can't do San Diego. San Diego ends up becoming a 2-week trip for me, right? And that would knock out other shows that I can do.
That's an expensive show.
Yeah. Because I can't fly with my merch. I'd have to drive, and it's a 4-day drive minimum from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're either driving or shipping.
And shipping and definitely make no profit. Daphne's back. She's not using the other guy's account, right? Doujinshi just means self-published, but yeah, it's mostly IP porn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's the Turtles hanging out with April in other ways, huh?
I have no idea.
It's past tense. I believe the word is hung.
Here we go. BMD Nerd, what's up, Papa? Here we go. He says, when is a crowdfund con happening? You'd go to that. That'd be really cool, man.
Interesting.
That would be really cool. Con just with crowd-funded creators, people that have raised it. Yeah, man, you don't get more authentic than that when it comes to comic book creators, right? That's awesome. San Diego is not a Comic-Con. I don't care what it's called. Okay. All right. It's huge, man. It's huge. I heard something interesting the other day, and I thought it was a great smack in your face, a great fuck you moment. Mike Richardson, the founder of Dark Horse Comics, was recently let go by the Embracer Group, who bought Dark Horse Comics, right? Thing is, their offices were still in the building that Mike Richardson owned. So, as the landlord of the building, Mike Richardson said, "Fuck you." Get out.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
That's pretty funny.
You're fired. Get out.
So are you.
Yeah.
It was a multi-level building. I believe the Embracer Dark Horse Group had the top 2 or 3 floors of the building, so they still had to pass Mike Richardson, who had the first 2 floors, and he was like, "Okay, I'm out. So are you, motherfuckers."
Good for him. Good for him.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Here we go. Grounded comments. Yes, San Diego Comic-Con is just fame. New York Comic-Con is way better. Damn right, buddy. That's why you always own the building. Here you go.
Yep.
And everyone left working there unionized. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. The union was embraced. I don't know what they covered though, right? And they unionized. That's right. Did Image, the people that worked in the back of the house at Image, end up unionizing or no?
Yeah.
They did. They were able to get ratified. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think they got the things they wanted, like all of the things they wanted, but I'm sure they got some of the things. Yeah.
Now, Ray, you're blue collar. You're the northern side neighbor. How do the unions work out there for you guys? Is there a union, or is it like a guild?
Yeah, you mean in the comic realm specifically? Like anywhere? Unions do exist. Yes, there's teachers have unions. A lot of steel workers, automotive have unions. They are around.
Okay, but comics, no.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, out here, at least in the state of New York, freelancers can't unionize. They can only join a guild, but guilds do not have the same strength that a union does. Right. So the people in Dark Horse, where I guess they were the back of the house, they were not the production team, they were the publication team. Right. Tom. So I leave and you talk unions. That's why you need me. You ask for everything to get most of what you want. Okay. Yeah, that's negotiation tactic. And here we go, Tom. Smiley face. Have fun the rest of your night, Tom. You're not here. Go enjoy the rest of the night. If you're gonna stay in the comments, you should have just stayed in here with us. All right. You could have balanced me and Calderon arguing with each other. Guys,
Ray, that was a very interesting commentary, but you were on mute.
I said balance laser with blast, all things equally balanced.
There you go.
You know what? Come on, bro. Just because they're both 5-letter words doesn't mean they even out in the scales, man.
Lasers don't explode; they're opposites. It's perfectly balanced.
The Graphic Artists Guild has been trying to unionize artists since the 70s. They have an easier time hurting cats. Yes. Yes. And, we spoke about day jobs earlier today. I'm going to preface it with this. I've always wanted to be in comics. I've always wanted to be creative right from jump, right? But I took the blue collar path. And I've hated making the donuts every day. Every day I get up, got to rub the knees and it's hard fucking work doing this and being creative at the same time. but it's afforded me a safety net. Right? I've got the benefits that a lot of freelancers don't have. And it hurts sometimes when I see creators that I loved and adored having to reach out to the Heroes Initiative, right, for help in their later days, whether they're retired or they're hurt and they can't work anymore. Top 5 unions in history. Way to go, Tom. Way to go, Tom. Teamsters is number 1. NLAC is number 2. BJ32 is number 3. What's up?
The Bakers Union.
Bakers Union?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just
Okay.
imagine
Out of
Tom.
Bakersville. There you go.
Yeah, and Steelworkers Union, right? Top five.
There you go.
My old man was part of that last one. In Hamilton, there's a lot of steel mill action there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You thought you were throwing a joke out there. All right, guys. Let's have a little. Let's bring the tension down a bit. Let's have some lighthearted moments. I wanna get into a little bit of trivia since Tom is not here. Right. I didn't prepare any cards, so I'll go into some quick true or false ones. All right. If you guys want to have fun, and you got your keyboard handy, put your answer in the chat, please. All right, don't just shout it out. All right. Here we go. We're gonna pull a couple of these off. All right. First true or false question is: Nightcrawler was intended and designed and created to be originally part of the Legion of Superheroes. True or false? Type your answers in the chat, not the private chat, in the regular chat. Yeah, the regular chat, so everybody can see it. Get it out there.
Mine's not connected with YouTube comments.
Son of a mother flower. Son of a mother flower, buddy.
I'll just do private.
Okay, no.
I'll have it fixed for next time.
Okay,
Yes,
so
it's not letting me connect.
Okay, so
put it in the private chat.
Yeah, they put it in the private chat. Okay, so Ray says false. Fred says true. Calderon says true. Champe answers true, and William says true. The answer is true.
Yeah.
For bonus points, who was the one that created Nightcrawler?
Dave Cockrum.
Cockrum?
Yeah, Dave Cockrum. Okay. All right, guys. All right. True or false? The Partridge Family had a comic book made about them.
Sure.
I'm just going to be consistent. The answer is always C. My answer is C.
There you go.
In the private chat, Fred says true. Ray says false.
C.
Calderon says true. The answer is true, guys. The answer is true. Burke says true. Granda says nerds. Art Victim. And a great catch to you all. Art Victim said something. Jay Dee truth. I wish I would have chose the safety net route myself in these later years. I'm seeing a lot of struggle. Yeah. It hurts. And I hope people find a way to navigate a way to get the help that they need.
I can stick around for one more, and then I got to go, unfortunately.
Okay.
Good to see you, Ray.
Yeah, man. One more.
True or false?
I'm going to put my answer in as false right away here.
Batman's utility belt made its debut in Detective Comics number 29. True or false?
I have a train of thought for this, so yeah.
Fred says true. Ray says false.
C.
Calderon says true. Glenda says true. William says true. The answer is true.
Yeah.
The utility belt did make its debut in Detective Comics number 29. True.
I knew he had it for the first appearance of Robin because it was blue in that issue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Look at Fred dropping in like that. Way to be. All right. Chopper says no idea. William says true. Yes, William, it was true. Ray, you're gonna cut out. I want to thank you. You want to let everybody know where they can find you, kid.
Find me on Instagram, Raymond the DM. Find me on Facebook, DM Ray. With that, I got to go. Thank you for the hospitality. I'll talk to you guys later.
See you again. Have a good one.
Bye for
now. Now that Ray's cut out, let's do a quick look on Fred's book, which launched earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
Fisticuffs is funded. Way to be, bud.
Thank you. It's been a good week. Really excited.
All right, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, man. Give everybody a quick lowdown on this, pal.
Sure. So Fisticuffs is the story of a functional drunk whose comfortable life derails when a one-night stand has deadly consequences. It is the sense of humor of the boys meets the kind of explosive action you'd find in Invincible, meets the kind of deeply personal storytelling that you would find in a Martin Scorsese movie as it deals with dysfunction, addiction, and mental health issues. So we have issues 1 through 4 available on the Kickstarter campaign. And what else? We have all kinds of we like, since we just funded, we're going to be announcing the stretch goals on Monday. We're going to have an indie bundle that we know of, and then we've already had an exclusive cover for the first 72 hours that was available in foil and metal. Now we're going to have, if the stretch goals are going to involve opening the regular book 4 covers up to foil and metal as well. So we're going to have lots of cool things, hopefully, really neat collectible things that we're going to be able to add in the next few days. And please check it out. Give us a look. We have some preview pages on there. We have a minifigure of one of our characters, the Blossom, who's, a giant blooming onion monster. And
dude, I was going to ask you, he looks like a blooming onion. And
he is.
I don't want to make you feel bad.
No, he was converted in a horrific accident inside a chain restaurant. So and he becomes a giant deviant, a bred deviant. So so we created a little minifigure out of that, 3D printed it off the original character design that Stan did. So if you want that, if you want something cool for your shelf, or like the thimble on your Monopoly board is getting rusty, or you want something for your D&D campaign, that's really a cool thing to add. And we have those fan art postcards that you saw from our friend Carrie, who donated some to the campaign. And please give the book a look. We have some sample pages on there, and give it a test drive, because, like I said, it's incredibly personal. It deals with a lot of heavy issues, but deals in a way where we're able to incorporate a giant blooming onion monster, and it doesn't make it's not nonsense. It fits in the story. So, please check it out. It's been a great few days, and we want to keep growing this so we can unlock the stretch goals and, keep, like I said, keep leveling this up. So one day we get to the point where, I got that Kirkman life going. So we'll see.
There you go, brother. If anybody's interested, the link to the campaign is in the chat. You got 13 more days to go. You're funded. Let's keep it going. Keep it going for Fred, folks.
13 days. Make it nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Here we go. Burks. Oh my God, I'm so looking forward to reading this. Way to be,
Thank
brother.
you, Burks. Much appreciated.
Why a blooming onion monster?
So I wanted to do something kind of like repellent and disgusting, and I spent a lot of time working in the field, and it just evolved. You work there, and every once in a while, they would put a blooming onion in the window, and it would look like completely demented. And you look at it, and you're like, okay, this looks, kind of hideous. And the nerd in me started playing with it, okay, because we also had the onion strings that we would put on the burgers and shit. So I'm like, okay, so if he's a blooming onion, and maybe he gets some onion strings fused to him, he can walk around and fight like Doc Ock and all kinds of cool shit like that. So it's just it's just my sick and twisted brain carrying a premise way too far that I probably should have let go. But here we are, and I love it.
See, but that's what makes it unique. That's what makes it your book, dude.
And the cool thing about the book is, right, because the personal story is so grounded, because it deals with addiction and stuff, that that stuff actually kind of works, because it's crazy and it's over the top, but what's happening to him in the story kind of follows patterns that I experienced in my life. So hopefully people will get to enjoy it on the surface level of like the absurdity of it, but also kind of see some of themselves in it. You know, I didn't want to make a book that was, you know, preachy or tried to get through to anybody. I wanted to make something fun and lighthearted that people can enjoy, but also deal with some, you know, really personal themes.
Okay. So John Cusack in Better Off Dead is like one of your role models? Right? He had that kitchen experience where the burger came to life. And
no, actually, I don't think I've ever seen that. No.
You did hear him say he was the youngest one in the group, right?
oh
Yeah.
my God.
I am the 43-year-old spring chicken, bro.
Good for you, bro.
So the John Cusack, I think it was John Hughes movies, right?
Yeah.
Where John Cusack was in. There were two sequences where they had claymation, and two different movies where they had the claymation of the food come to life, and you just had a trippy experience, you know.
And also, well, no, this isn't trippy. This is real deal, man. This is happening in his life. And the other thing that might have given it some, some influence in me too is when I was a kid. Do you remember those like action figures that were like the food come to life?
Yeah.
Like the pizza guy and like the chicken wing with the stuff. That probably had some influence like seeped into my subconscious too. And I'm like, okay, you can do some fun shit with food and make some monsters, but it's no more strange than the other monsters we see in issues 2 and 3. Like they're all fucked. So
okay.
Yeah. I was working on a project for somebody else this week, and they said something like that I was unhinged in the best way possible, and I was like, yeah, thank you. I take that. I wear that proudly.
Way to go. Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong with that. Let that freak flag fly, baby.
Hell yeah,
You know
we
what
put
I'm
ourselves on the plate, dude. That's what it is.
Fuck yeah, it is. Fuck yeah. Food fighters. With,
Yes, that was them. Yeah. With the little muscle arms and stuff, and that was the shit.
Yeah, man. That was good shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
See, I'm not that much younger than you.
All right, guys. I got one more true or false question for you.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
What is it?
True or false? Spider-Man first appeared in Amazing Fantasy number 15. True or false? True. Fred says true. Okay. Yeah. True. Burke says true. Yes. True. It's an easy one. It's an easy one. Hopefully you get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. True or false? Len Wein wrote Wolverine's first solo story. Yeah.
Wait. When you say solo story, do you mean like a miniseries or first appearance?
Fuck.
You're confusing me here. I don't want to get gotcha'd.
I think he's trying to gotcha us, but I mean, because he did say first solo story, not his first appearance.
Yeah, I'm going to change my
I did
answer.
say that. False.
Right.
You're a cheater.
Because if it's his first appearance,
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah.
And I think Len wasn't Len just the editor?
You can't put that up in the public chat.
I can't get connected to the public chat.
False, you're a cheater. Yes. Yes, it is. It is false. It is false. It's the way I worded it. Yes.
Right.
I wasn't being a cheater.
His first solo limited series, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, I believe is the Chris Claremont, Frank Miller thing.
Agreed. That's my guess as well.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if there was something else separate, but
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, it could also be played off as, his first solo story. Was it the time where it was just that one issue of the X-Men where he was dedicated to taking out the Hellfire Guard in the basement? Right? That was the whole issue. That was no X-Men showed up. It was just him.
That was also Claremont, though.
That was also Claremont.
Mhm.
Right.
Claremont and Byrne.
Right. But Len Wein did write his first appearance.
In Hulk 187. Is it 187?
No.
181. He appears in one at the end of 180.
He appears in the one. No, right. So his first full appearance is in 181. Right. His first cameo was in 180. All right, guys. We were in an hour and a half, fellas. We had a little fun with the trivia. We got a little volatile.
I think we should sit here for another 2 hours and just keep arguing.
Yeah. I got shit to do, guys.
So do I. I think that's why I was so cranky.
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah. Guys, I got into the apartment 10 minutes before I went into the back room. With Calderon, I got into the apartment 7:44 tonight, man. I was just like, fuck. That's the thing, right? Whether it's a hobby, it's a small business, you still got to dedicate time to make the comic books. Right? You gotta manage the minutia of it all, because if not, you're gonna end up losing your shirt, and then you won't be able to make any more comic books. Which is why we're doing this in the first place. So pay attention to what you're doing, and keep the needle pointed in the direction of making more books, and hopefully everyone benefits from all of it, right?
Here, look,
Fred,
can I drop this in real quick? All right, look.
Yeah, what do you want to drop in?
If you're a writer, write. All right. If you can't afford an artist, write prose. Okay.
Okay.
If you can't afford an artist, do what you can. But even no matter what's going on, keep doing your work. Period.
Yeah. Always do it. Right? Even if it's one line a day, just keep the head going, folks. Keep the fucking head going.
I heard a really good quote recently in line with that. I think Jordan Peele said that, when he does a first draft, he just thinks of it as like putting sand in a sandbox, and then he sculpts it later. So yeah, to your point, just get stuff done, and then you can play with it and make it perfect.
Right.
It's funny, Calderon, before you came into the room, Calderon had showed me his script, right? And one of his scripts, and it's various drafts of it. My first draft of a script is always handwritten. Always handwritten. So when I type it in, that's my first edit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I heard of somebody else doing that today, and that was kind of weird to me, like the handwritten still. I do it on my phone now. Like I start texting and I break it down, and then I type it in.
Yeah. I would always suggest handwrite if you can.
Yeah.
Do your first draft handwritten.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm quicker as a handwriter, so I get the ideas out. But then I also add and embellish with this bad boy, right? It's always take a note, and I compile stuff, and then I write it down.
Mm-hmm.
But Fred, let them know where they can find you, brother.
Sure. You guys can find me at Schwartz Art LLC on all the main socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Can't log into YouTube for some reason, but it is there. And then you can find me on www.schwartzart-llc. And I believe the link to the Kickstarter, put it in the comments, I assume. So
yes.
Please, guys, go there and support it. Like I said, this is my heart project, and we really want to see how far we can take this one. And yeah, please support. So thank you.
Way to be. Calderon, where can they find you, kid?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those different places. This Sunday night, I will be on with Marvin, and we will be interviewing a retailer.
Okay. Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go, kid. All right. I am Jay Dee Rosario from Unstoppable Comics, and Comic Book Streamland is a division of Unstoppable Comics. You can find me on almost every social media platform under Unstoppable Comics. And then you can also find us on YouTube as either Jay the Unstoppable or Comic Book Streamland. Most Sunday nights, I'm with that guy. Friday nights, I'm here on Comic Book Streamland. And this Monday night, we got a solo one-on-one interview with George Medina, who's got a book going out, and he's going to talk about that. So Monday night, catch us, 8 p.m., 1 hour show, quickie. All right, and we'll have a good time. Folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us, spending all your time with us. If you made it to the end, I'm assuming you had a good time. So let everybody else know that you did by hitting those like, subscribe, and share buttons so they can come join us and have fun as well. Have a good night, everybody, and thank you for hanging out with us. See you next week.
Have a good night, everyone.